This episode is sponsored by Zenro Clothing Co. Pick up your tees and or accessories at zenroclothingco.com and be sure to use offer code Socrates at checkout for 20% off select items. Also, if you're not into spending the money, just check out the Zenro radio playlist. zenroclothingco.com, music for your everyday. This episode also sponsored by The Pornian Bakery. If you're located in the Pornian area of Scarborough, Toronto, be sure to check out The Pornian Bakery, say what's up to Arville, and pick up a donut or two. Baked daily, crafted with love. This episode also sponsored by Podbean. Podbean is the podcasting platform of choice. It's the one that me and Vish use, and is great, you know, if you're looking to start that DIY podcast yourself. Definitely check out Podbean. Use the link podbean.com/SocraticGamers and gain 1 month of unlimited podcasting for free. Test it out, build that content. Anyone could podcast, right, Vish?
Yep.
Start a podcast and get your ideas out there. All right, enjoy the episode. Okay, yeah. So, all right. So last week we talked about the block universe and how you and I were both saying like, oh, I think that this is most likely the most like correct example of how time works, right? So there's like the multiverse model where it's like if you go back and change something, it'll like branch out into a whole new thing, or like every choice has its own branch. Remember? And then like the block universe is like it's all contained within the block. So even if you go back in time, you're still not changing anything.
Yeah.
All right. So like it's like determinism, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And we both said like, oh, I think that's the most accurate one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yes. I had this revelation and I was like, wait, how do you explain this though? Because, okay, so the block universe, it feels like there's one thing it actually can't explain. So if you go back in time to change something, okay, so something happens and you're like, oh, I don't like that happened. You go back in time to change it. If you were to actually change it, you'd have never had the impetus to want to change something.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work?
Well, maybe that.
Like,
no, I understand that there's a scenario like that, but you have to prove that even is a true scenario. Maybe that change.
Will happen no matter what. Like what do you mean?
The change was already happened, right?
Right. But what I'm saying is like, if the change had already happened, you wouldn't have even had the desire to want to change anything because you would have fixed it. So you would have not had the desire. The desire sparks the problem sparks the desire for change. So if you fix the problem, then like you would have never had the problem in the beginning. So why would you be spurred on to change anything?
Mm-hmm.
So like, how does that work? Or maybe I haven't thought this one through. That's why I want to bring it forward because you're
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because then you would have just not changed anything in the first place. You would have never went back in time if there's no problem.
No, but no, I understand that. But I think that was probably the line. It's not you're changing anything. It's that that was the trajectory that it was going.
Okay, wait. So the block universe, so it's all connected, right? So like you're here in this point in time. You keep moving forward you invent time travel. You go back in time before the problem starts. You fix the problem. If you fix the problem, then that person, the old you, doesn't need to go back in time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it breaks like that. That's like logically, it's illogical,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because like then there's no problem. Like why? Because then how would there be a loop?
Mm-hmm.
You would have just had a multiverse in that case. Because if you go back in time, then it would have changed the reality for that new person.
Sure.
But like for you were still sparked on by a problem to want to go back in time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's almost like it kind of like deletes that.
Well, maybe. Well, that's. I mean, yeah. That's the thing is. See, this is how data works, right? That's how science works. Theories or things like that change based on new evidence. So last week's evidence, we didn't go into this, or we didn't have this idea.
Yeah.
So now, so this week, wait, there's a question here. So does it go back then? Does multiverse make more sense than this one?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. And like, that's why it's cool. Cause like always open-minded. You're like, maybe the problem is not actually solved, or like, we're always like new information will always like change our perspective, right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's
like,
what science is supposed to do, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Our thing was just on what our perspective made more sense based on that information. So this is a good information to have. Now, how do we
reconcile it? Are we like, is it actually just a multiverse?
Is it a multiverse, or is there a different understanding within the block universe of this kind of question? I don't know if they answer that.
So my only hypothesis for this one is that, one, time travel is restricted to only certain people. Like, it's like the nuclear bomb. Only certain people know how to make the nuclear bomb. We can't just go like, oh, I'm going to make a nuclear bomb. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if there is time travel, it's probably restricted to, like, areas of government that, like, are highly regulated.
Okay.
Makes sense? Okay. And then, two, if that's the case, they probably realize this and they're like, oh, you can only go back in time to change other things, but not your thing.
But that doesn't give... Right. But that doesn't mean that doesn't give...
Oh, but right.
It still doesn't...
Then you would have solved the problem. You would have solved the problem. Right,
yeah,
right.
It still means there's a multiverse then.
Right. True. Yeah, true, actually. Because I was like, well, if you're regulated to not go back and change your own time, it's like, yeah, but then it doesn't take away the problem of fixing the problem.
Yeah.
Like, once you fix the problem, there's no problem. There's no, like, reason for you to go back in time. So, like, if you've solved it, you've solved it. In the block universe, so it would have never been a problem. But, like, multiverses are the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
Like, really,
I think
though.
so.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think it's not... well, I guess one line ends, but the other line, it continues. You get what I'm saying? You go back. So you're going in one direction, you want to change something, you'll go back, and it just and you change it, but then it goes a different direction. So that is it change? It's one line ends, basically. Or it's a continuation of the same line, but that change continues on, right?
Yes. Right. And this goes back to our old, because I was like trying to think about what we came up with before, where it's like everything is rendering for your reality, right? Like, remember it says like something doesn't actually show up unless you see it, the observer effect, right? But we all have our own observer effect going on. So it's like, are we just running our own individual sim? See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like
right.
My timeline, when they're like, oh, can you go back in time and kill your father or your grandfather and then you won't exist? Like, yes, you can, but that's changing someone else's timeline. But from your perspective, your grandfather's already dead. You went back. So it's like my storyline is like linear no matter what, but I can affect other storylines. But at the end of the day, it's still just like my storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the concept of like, if you died, or if you died, my story still goes on.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, if I died, my story's done from my perspective. So it's like, there is no you anymore. You know what I'm saying? So maybe like, so with the whole multiverse thing, maybe it's like pushing on the next concept of like, are we just like running individual sims? But I mean, we hypothesized that before, and it's the only thing that makes sense. You know, it's like, if we are, like the thing that I'm thinking of now is like we all are emanations of this one conscious being. So like, you know, like Brahman, Atman, you know, in Hinduism. So like, of the Brahman of the universe, we are the Atman, the individual. But like, it's like our, I don't know, like, it's like our video game, like there is no other except you, but we are all one.
Right. Yeah.
And that makes sense because like spirituality says that all the time, right? Like there is no individual. There's only the one self. Like you are just a reflection of me in a different body with different experiences.
Right.
Right. But it's like, you remember Inception? Like you fill the dream world with your subconscious.
Yeah.
Right. Like, like you bring the dreamer into the world. The dreamer fills the world with its subconscious, and you could literally talk to the subconscious. We were watching Inception recently. That's why I'm like, and this is like top of mind. So like, maybe that's what it is though. It's
Mm-hmm.
like you are just a projection of my subconscious. And I
Mm.
like you know what I mean? Like if supposing we're all real, like from this theory, it means that you're not real, right? You're from my perspective,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
right? Because like the whole Descartes, I think, therefore I am. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I know I think, therefore I can only suppose that you think.
Sure.
Just like AI
Exactly.
can only suppose that AI thinks. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not AI. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not you.
Yeah.
So like, really, we're all just running our own individual video game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
True.
and like the multiverse timeline, whatever, it's just like, yeah, that is possible from your perspective. And like, this is just a thought experiment of like, what would the branch timeline be like? It's like, will it individually affect you?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, even if I go back in time, change something, it's like let's say I become like the time traveling astronaut, right? They hire me to go back in time, and I like go back in time and I like fix this problem to change a future, right? It's like, but under my perspective, I still came from that terrible timeline. Like I'm hoping that I change your timelines, but I don't know if it like I don't know if it's better for you. I don't know if it's worse for you. Like it's just me doing what I think is right
Mm-hmm.
because that's my video game storyline.
Right. Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A great example of this, a great like Dragon Ball Z had all of the truths we just didn't know. So the Trunks saga is Goku dies of a virus in his timeline. So Trunks, so in his timeline, Goku's dead, and then the androids come and nobody can defeat them except for Goku. So Trunks goes back in time to save Goku's life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He does this whole thing. They kill the androids, whatever. He goes back to his own timeline, and nothing had changed. He's like, wait, what? But I saved Goku. I changed the timeline. It's like, yeah, but you changed their timeline. You didn't change yours. Because it's
Mm-hmm.
still
Right,
your
right, right,
timeline.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like, is that what's really going on?
But then that is the multiverse also,
Yeah,
right?
it is the multiverse. Because
Yeah.
I changed
Right.
like, but like once Trunks is back in his own timeline, it's like, I don't know what Goku's doing. He only knows what's happening in his timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Goku's still dead in his timeline.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So it's like, you didn't change anything, bro. You
Mm-hmm.
changed something for them, maybe,
Right.
but like, you're still stuck where you are.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Or maybe it's like maybe that's the interdimensional theory. It's like when you go back in time, you're not going back in time, you're going to a different timeline.
Well, you've
It's like we
technically
think
created a different timeline. I think I've seen that in time
mm,
machine movies, where by going back in time or changing anything, you've now created a whole new line, a new. But it's the multiverse, right? That is a different line. If you go back, that's what you're saying. He just goes back to his time, where it was.
right. But maybe it's not time. Maybe it's like a universe. So it's like, you know, these time machines that were like, oh, I'm jumping back in time. It's like, no, you're jumping through universes. It's not time.
Okay,
See what I'm saying? So it's like when you put the coordinates.
that's
Like I also watched Back to the Future recently, and then he's like, oh, you gotta put in these coordinates to go back to this time. I'm like, maybe it's not the time. Maybe you're coordinating to a universe.
it's kind of Dark Matter
You know
talk
what I'm
about
saying?
that too.
Oh, okay,
The show
interesting.
Dark Matter, because it was they used the box thing, and then which the doors that you open are just different universes, different. It's not timeline. There are different timelines of whatever happened. Maybe Earth was never formed in this universe, or whatever it was. That's the Schrodinger's cat, but that was in the Dark Matter show. That's what they were trying to do.
Oh,
Which,
interesting.
yeah.
Maybe that is it though. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
it's like we're because nobody knows. Like I've heard so many, like listened to so many podcasts about this now, and like the time traveler hypothesis and stuff. And what he was saying is like nobody knows what time is.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually, it's literally like mechanically, time is just something on a watch.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But there is no time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, there's like rotations of the Earth,
Yeah.
rotations of the universe, but those
Yeah.
change over time.
And they're different on different planets.
Exactly. So it's like,
Right.
so there is no such thing as time. Time, like
Hmm.
from a mechanical sense, like what's on my watch, is literally just a figment of our imagination.
Well, it's
Why does
just
the
that is
yeah,
only
man.
based on what is Earth is, right? Where Earth
Yeah.
is in this position based on the sun. So if you're on like Mercury or even Mars, it's a different time. That's why they use Sol as a day or calendar, right? They have
Oh
different
yeah, true. Yeah.
hours of the day. It's not like
Yes.
24 hours necessarily like us, right? So that's just
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
specific
Yeah.
to us. Yeah.
So it's like,
It's
what?
arbitrary. Yeah, it
Yeah, it's
changes.
arbitrary,
Yeah.
right? And it's also malleable, like Einstein's theory of relativity. So
Mhm.
like if you put your hot hand in hot water, like scalding hot water, a second can feel like a lifetime.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep.
oh my God, you know, but it's like, or like when you enter in like flow states, you're like, oh, time slows down,
Mhm.
which is weird, you know? So it's like, what is time is literally, if we're literally, if we're just talking about clocks, if you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, time is clocks, it's like, okay, you're just talking about a clock, bro. But like your clock, I also have, so I have like, I have the Apple Watch and I have my Garmin,
Mhm.
and they're synced to, one is synced to like a world time
Mhm.
from the Apple mechanic or whatever, and then I have one synced from the world time through like global networks. So like my Garmin is like synced through satellites, it like through a global network. Like no matter where I am on Earth, it'll sync to the correct time,
Mhm.
right? And then like my iPhone will sync according to like whatever atomic clock it's using. Okay.
Even just wanted to add, even like
Yep.
when we do 1 year calendar, why we still do the leap year? Because it's not exactly 24 hours, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
another
Right.
thing.
All right. Yeah. So this is so it's funny. You're like, oh, it's not exactly 24 hours. So like when you look at the two syncs, they're different.
Hmm.
My Apple Watch is actually different timed than my Garmin.
Right.
Like my work
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
computer, like like I have a Mac, right? And it's like, oh, the meeting starts now. And like on my Garmin, which is synced to the world time as well, but through satellites, it's like you have 10 seconds left. And I'm
Hmm.
like, that's weird. How's there a 10-second differential?
Right.
See what I mean? So it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is if you're literally just talking about clocks?
Hmm.
Like if you equate time to clocks, then okay, we're just talking about mechanics here, right? But if you're talking about like time, like what is time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
it's like,
there's a lot of other things too that's also involved. Even when you get the GPS stuff, it's all based on because they have to figure out the timing of the signal to
oh,
send. Even that's all calculated into that when you get whatever you get the road directions on your GPS.
oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, see, like it's like, but these we're talking about mechanics.
Hmm.
We're not talking about like time. So like, what
Yeah,
is
but
time? Nobody
there
really
wasn't
knows.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like maybe our concept of time traveling isn't even like it's not even correct. Like
Hmm.
when we see these movies and stuff, it's like when you think about time travelers, it's like no, it's universe jumpers or
Hmm.
like timeline jumpers or choice jumpers. You know what I mean? It's like they're not really time travelers.
Not in the same time. Where you're jumping between universes, as you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right. So
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
that's the only thing that makes sense because they're what they're saying is like you can literally you can like scientifically, and we don't even need to break our like when Brett Weinstein or Eric Weinstein was like, oh, there's like a hidden physics from us if like this is true. It's like no, you can still reconcile with Jack Sarfati. You can reconcile Einstein's theories with this time traveling thing. It's totally possible
Hmm.
because he's like a theoretical physicist, right? Whereas like Brett Weinstein, Eric Weinstein, whatever, one of those is like a mathematician,
Yeah.
right? So he's like, you're not a physicist, you're just a mathematician,
Hmm.
right? But a physicist is like, no, this is reconcilable. Hal Puthoff said it too. The time traveler guy, Michael Masters, he was saying on a podcast that Hal Puthoff, who works on these UFOs, is also like time travel is possible using Einstein's theory
Hmm.
as well.
Right.
Because like it's like light cones, what they're saying, and like time is light, right? Like it's just photons, right? Just moving forward. But
Yeah.
you can bend the light,
Hmm.
meaning you could bend the time. So they're
Yeah.
like, it's possible to like go back in time, but it's like go back in time or go back into a different reality.
Well, I guess that would be the
You know what I mean?
experiment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are
Because
the
like it's like, well,
two.
what is time? Like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
time is a photon, we just talked about like what do you mean mechanically? Like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. What this is like so esoterically trippy, which is like um Jesse Michaels was on this podcast and the first question is like, should you get into this UFO topic? He said no. First thing is look at Maslow's hierarchy, make sure you're like safety and security, like up the ladder, make sure everything's okay, like you have enough money. Like this is one of those like heady experiments that like if you hedge all of your bets on this thing, waiting for it to like pan out, and then your life is wasting away.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like this is more of those like you and I have a space and time to do this.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas like because I'm like, oh dude, this is pretty heady. But it's like this is like the forefront of how far you can think about reality, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Yeah. I just want to bring that up because the time thing, because I was like, it makes no sense actually. If you go back and fix the problem, like I was saying at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
then you kind of like cancel out the issue. Yeah. Okay. Um, I wanted to talk about. Okay, okay. Let's talk about the. I finished the book. It talks about plasma and
Mm-hmm.
how they think plasma is based off consciousness.
Okay.
Or like they think consciousness is like plasma is consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like the conduit of consciousness, or it is consciousness, right? And when because they find like plasma in us, they find plasma in these like um, ball lightning things. They think that they see that it's moving intelligently, you know. So they're like, and then people see like when people are dying, they see like light emanating off a person, which is like plasma too. Plasma is like I don't know, it's not light, but it's like right after the Big Bang, things cooled a little bit, and then plasma was there, and then it cooled more, and then atoms were created.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like in terms of science, like Big Bang, plasma, atoms. Atoms are us. Right. So like why wouldn't there be consciousness baked into plasma if it's one of the first building blocks? Like how do you gain something outside of something? If everything's contained in the universe, like the Big Bang,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so everything's emanating from the Big Bang, like
Sure.
of course consciousness would be a part of the Big Bang,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And that logically makes sense, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
where
Because
else where would consciousness
we're
come from?
I mean, yeah, we're all part of whatever material that makes us is all part of the universe, anyways. So.
That's one, right? Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like that concept of like, where do you go when you die? It's like, what do you mean go?
Mm-hmm.
Like only the ego dies, sure. Like the self identification state, sure. But like who you are doesn't die. That goes somewhere else. Because well, it doesn't die. It just never left. It just transforms into something else.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like with all that being said, it's weird that Brahman, like Hinduism has so many truths, bro. Like Brahman and Atman, that's the concept. Brahman, Atman,
Right.
right? Like Brahman is like, let's say it's the plasma, the Big
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Bang,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's everything. And then the Atman is the individual piece of Brahman,
Mm-hmm.
which is the self identified self.
Yeah.
So it's like, but that's what we all are. We're like egoic little, like you're Vish, I'm me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, but
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Atman. But they
Yeah.
were telling us the whole time, bro. And it's like, it's so weird that you have to like go back in time to like look at these ancient things to understand like who we are.
No, I think no, but even for them, it was like we go through, I guess, phases because things that happen or destruction happens, we lose information. We don't know how they do the pyramids, right? These are these sort of things, right? But then once we try to fix ourselves again, and I guess we're going back in that direction. It just seems like, yes, we're giving everything to the ancients, but I think maybe we would reach that thing again. It's just now we do have information from the ancients, right? That
So you're
add
saying, yeah.
that add to it. Because like, how did they reach to that information?
That's so honestly, like nobody's thinking about like what all right, what I'm thinking is like just look at it as like a logical
Mm-hmm.
like problem, a logical problem to solve. You have these people that have said things that have stood the test of time, and now through science we're actually starting to be like, oh, I see what they meant.
Yeah,
Like
because the thing is
plasma.
definitions. Yeah, right. It's all about definitions, and they're using a different language. We still have. I don't know. I've seen clips of it now, but like I haven't watched those videos where they've possibly started to break down or understand the symbols, because there's some ancient language even there that we haven't deciphered yet,
Oh, that's interesting.
and that
Okay.
we're starting to figure out the symbols and decipher it now. So what is in those information that we don't know now, right? Like what are we going to learn from that stuff? So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
even in Hinduism, even with like a lot of the stuff that's there, I think that it comes down to definitions. People, and I think we talked about language before. Like they could have, you're using their own words trying to explain these things, but we're using definitions that break down in English, right? Of trying to describe it, but we're still not getting the whole. Like we may not get the whole picture because we're
maybe we
speaking.
don't. Yeah.
That doesn't exist
Yeah.
in English. These words don't exist in English. We're trying as close as possible to understand what this means. Right?
Yeah, totally. And if you've never seen the color, if you don't have a word for the color red, how do you explain the color red to someone?
Yeah.
You're like, that's like an orange, no, like a darker orange, like it's like off orange. You know what I mean? It's like you can't explain it unless you have like a literal word for it.
Yeah.
But if you're like red, you're like, oh yeah, red.
Because we've defined it and we've tried to explain it that way, right? But like if there's
Yeah.
words that don't have a direct definition, that's the breakdown.
Yeah, sure. That's trippy to think about. So, yeah, so like we're losing a lot of information from what they had and what we have now in terms of language, right? What they've written down.
Yeah. But I think we can reach back to that kind of information or level as we have evidence and science and you get the data. I think that's because we're using newer words in science or different words to maybe it's describing the same thing.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And I think AI will help us with that because you can like compile large amounts of data quickly. So it's like, okay, try and like decipher this, and then like, wait, this kind of sounds like this, and AI will be like, yeah, it is very similar. Oh, you should ask AI like, is Brahman and the Big Bang basically the same thing? Like, I wonder what it would say.
Right.
You know what I mean? That would be pretty interesting. Like merging science and spirituality. Because I think that's where we have to head.
But I don't even think that we're changing the two words with spirituality and science. I feel like that maybe that is science. What they were, you know what I mean? It's
No, I know. Yeah, no, 100%.
Right, but then the English words, they have two different definitions for that thing. We just use two words, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I'm always like, spirituality is just like naive science. It's just like we just didn't know what it was, so we called it like Brahman. But it's like, no, that's like the Big Bang. You know what I mean? Or I guess like
but again, exactly, it's our word. It's not like they didn't know. Maybe they understood it as the Big Bang.
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. So like Brahman translated means Big Bang.
Yeah, we're
Like,
just using
like equivalent.
Yeah, yes.
You know?
Maybe.
Whereas like the early scholars were like Brahman, it must mean like a magical deity, and they're like, no, Big Bang, bro.
Or other people can define different things for whatever purpose, right? Maybe the original meaning is maybe the Big Bang.
Yeah, true. Actually, that's so true. Yeah. True. That's like me, like I'm trying to colonially correct it. You know, like, oh no, you meant the Big Bang. Or it's like, no, we meant the Big Bang too, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so totally I agree. So going back to the logical thought process, they have so much information that it took us a while to figure out, right? So why would there not be an ancient advanced civilization? You really think that a bunch of people in the forest figured all this out? You know what I'm saying? And then when you see these like megalithic cities like Machu Picchu and like how they build that, pyramids, how they build that, it's like, okay, if they built that, and that's probably just like the foundation of what we're seeing. You know what I mean? Like the foundation of like a building.
Yeah.
Survived over time.
Yeah.
You know? Or like it would be like if 10,000 years in the future, they just see like a square in the ground, which is like a platform that we use to build like a high rise. They don't know that we built a high rise. They just see the square and like, oh, they must have worshipped on the square. It's like, no, it's the high rise base, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, how could there not be an ancient advanced civilization?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like just
Right.
logically thinking about it, it's like if what we're seeing back in ancient texts is adding up to what we're seeing now in science, it's like, okay, you guys know some stuff. So like, what happened to you? How'd you get here? Like, I think history, it's like the One Piece thing. There was like a blackout of history where they like destroyed in One Piece. They like hid the actual history from the people, and that's why the pirates are trying to find it and stuff. And like, it sounds like now there's like so much hidden that we just don't know, you know? But if you just logically put it together, like thanks to the internet, you just like Google it or like you look this thing up, you know, it gives you an answer and you're like, oh, okay. And you start drawing your own connections. It's like, if you draw your own connections, you'll realize that there was an ancient advanced civilization that predated us that must have been way long. Cause it's like in 4,000 years, you're not going to be able to like, unless you think so. Like, so from the beginning, like let's say it was like 6,000 years ago till now, and we have like cities. Like, do you think that maybe it took them 6,000 years? Do you think it took longer than 6,000 years?
To get to here
No, to
from.
get to where they were. Because you have to backtrack now, right? Like, okay, you have
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
the
right. Yeah.
pyramids. Okay, we have the pyramids. That's like 12,000 years ago. Okay, so when did you build these? And then you have to like figure out how long it took you from like hunter gatherer to build a pyramid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't seem like just things aren't adding up. Like, it took us a long time to get to like traversing space, like having a podcast. So, how long did it take you to come up with a civilization that's globetrotting and you created pyramids? And what did you do with the pyramids? You know what I mean? It's like it's like self-evident that there was a advanced civilization before us,
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? And like who's that Indian dude? Pravith something?
Oh,
You know him.
you're talking about the. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some sort of archaeologist kind of
Yeah,
person,
yeah,
right? You're talking about that
yeah,
guy?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
on Danny Jones,
Right.
and I saw he was showing up some. He was showing pulling up some like examples of ancient architecture. I'm like, dude, there's no way. Like, how'd you build that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're
Where did
built
they learn
into the
that? Yeah,
mountains.
yeah. It takes time to
Yeah,
even
right.
get to that level, right? Yeah. True.
You just chiseled it out. Like, what are you saying, bro? No, like
Sure.
this. Like, you don't just like you need proof of concept. You can't just be like, yeah, one day it's gonna work, bro. Like that level
Oh
of
no, no.
intricate detail.
Yeah, no. I don't. I
You
don't
see what I'm
think
saying?
they. Yeah, yeah, I don't think people. Even if it takes money or it takes labor to make these things. I'm sure you're not just. Let's see what'll happen. I don't think that's what they're doing.
You think they're so dumb? They're like, yeah, it was just guess. Let's see. And why would you listen to that one person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they for sure had a plan. So like that's a good example again of like, okay, there was something here before us. My cousin just sent me this thing that just came out in China. They found like these like pipes that they've never seen before. But the problem with China is that they're so like locked in that they don't like show you what's going on like ancient civilization wise. But there's a guy I like follow him and he made this map of all the pyramids around the world. And like it's like a downloadable, I think he sells it though. Like you could it's an overlay onto Google Maps. So like if you're curious about all the pyramids, like you can overlay this on the Google Maps and then like it'll show you all the pyramids around the world.
Right.
So one thing that he was showing in the demo is how many pyramids there are in China, like bigger than the Egyptian pyramids, but they just let like grass grow on top of it, and they just don't excavate it. They're just like, yeah, just build your cities around it, like build your farmland around it, but like we won't excavate it. But like, or are they excavating it? You see what I'm saying? Because like China's so locked down, we don't know anything. We know like little things that they want to share, but like, are you guys tapped into some ancient knowledge that we don't even know about? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you see when I saw the Google map, then I'm like, dude, this looks bigger than the pyramids of Giza. But we can't go there, you know, and send like archaeologists to like excavate it. There's so
Right.
many bureaucracies surrounding it. You know what I mean? So it's like, how far does our history stretch in that manner now?
Right.
Like if China's littered with pyramids and then like the in India's littered with like temples and they
Mm-hmm.
seem crazy to be built, it's
Mm-hmm.
like even if you say like the Neil deGrasse Tyson approach, which is like the logical conclusion is that they just built it. My next question is like, well, how long did that take, bro? And how much foreknowledge did you have to build that? Like, sure, okay, you just chiseled it out. Let's assume. But like, how did you know how to chisel it then?
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I understand what you're asking. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like, you can't deny that there's some crazy technology, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, oh, well, we're the only ones that traversed into space. You know, it's like that you know of. We've heard like stories of astronauts that went to the moon. They saw like bases, you know, and then they came back and they're like, dude, I don't know. That's why, like, if you look at the astronauts, like they play it, they look very like shook. They don't look
Mm-hmm.
excited about like going into space. The moon landing people.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is just like speculation. Like actually, you know what's really crazy? One of the moon landing people says there's bases on the moon. There's aliens, but they're all like, oh, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like,
Right.
okay, he was just on the moon, bro. Like, maybe we should take him seriously,
Right.
you know? So, like, what, like, you know, like, it just feels like, dude, there's a cover up.
Mm.
Or no? Do you think so? I don't know.
I I don't know. I haven't seen evidence of it necessarily being a cover up.
Okay, I was listening to Everyday Spy just now.
Mm-hmm.
He's on Danny Jones, okay? And he said in the book that he wrote, it's about like them hunting a spy. And he's like, oh, in 2019, they captured the spy that was hunting us.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were used as bait to be like for the spy to like catch onto them type thing, right? And then Danny Jones was like, "Oh, was it public knowledge?" He's like, "Yeah, it's public knowledge in the archives." And like, "Oh, you didn't they didn't do an article about him being caught?" And then Andrew Bustamante, Everyday Spy, he was like, "You'd be surprised how many headlines don't make it." And then
Mm-hmm.
Danny Jones is like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, we just don't tell them. The only reason why you know about those things is we told you." But there's so many operations, so many things that happen around the world that you just don't know about.
Right.
We just don't tell the reporter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like we're talking about cover ups. So it's like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
how do we know? Like you guys are just admitting to
Yeah, yeah. But you just said that it's accessible, right? I don't think a true reporter. Uh,
all these things are accessible. You can see the dude who landed on the moon saying there's bases on the moon,
mm-hmm.
right? There's you can go like the Mars guy, the remote viewer Joe McMonagle. You can go to NASA and ask for like photo, not NASA. What was it
JPL.
JPL? You can go to JPL and ask for photos of the like the what was it the base on Mars or something like
Mm-hmm.
the old city of Mars. It's called the old city of Mars. Like they know about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
all this is public. You can Google the TR3B patent.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's like you just can't. You just don't promote it. If you don't promote it, people don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And
Yeah.
then if you know about it, you sound crazy. Like I'm sure this podcast sounds crazy. Like your listeners are like, dude, what? She's like, Google all of it. It's all there. You
Sure.
know. So it's like, it's not that it's not inaccessible. It's just not widely accepted, and that's the narrative of control.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because then you have like, okay, like I saw the Avi Loeb thing, bro. Michael Shermer, Avi Loeb debate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know
Okay,
about it.
no, Avi Loeb is the Three Eye Atlas.
No,
It's
no, no.
another
I
show.
mean, I didn't know about the debate. I know who they
Okay, I
are.
say,
Yeah.
okay, cool. So it popped up on my feed. I was like, all right, let me hear this. Right, there was zero science in that whole thing, except for one moment where Michael Shermer read off an explanation from a colleague of Avi's,
Mm-hmm.
and it was basically, it's a comet.
Right.
And then Avi had zero, like, I was waiting for the science, like, well, all right, rebut those things, bro. And he's like, no, this is just a case again of science and scientists being pushed down. The truth is being hidden from us. I was like, Avi, you're not saying anything, though.
Mm-hmm.
You're just talking about, like, the suppression of information. If you really disagree with those scientific points, be like, no, he's wrong because of this.
Yeah.
See, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
But so it's like, okay, so then you have these actors who just, like, change information. Like, you know what I mean? We just read the headlines. Mothership is coming. You're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then somebody commented on that because I made a cut and then I posted it and somebody commented like, Avi has never changed his position. He always said it was a comment. I'm like, then why are all the things say mothership? If he said it was a comment, then like, why aren't you pushing that narrative? I'm watching all the interviews of you being like, it's a mothership. We can't discount it's a mothership.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, so what's that? Like, what is? This is the cover up. I mean, it's like it's not a cover up. It's like a disinformation campaign.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that people do that, of course.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And it's also like a tool. Like when I was in PR, doing the certificate, they're talking about red herrings. I'm like, what? What's a red herring? And they like taught us. They literally taught us about red herrings and like how to use them. Like if you want this, there's the Streisand effect and the red herring that both I was like, that's crazy. But these are tools. It's like the red herring is like you show that you're like Epstein scandal, P. Diddy scandal. Huh? P. Diddy did what? But you're like, here, look over here while we're doing this. You know, both are same time, but public awareness is on P. Diddy. Whereas like all this other stuff we're hiding.
Right.
Red herring. And then the Streisand effect is like you don't know. I think it's called negative source bias, but like you can say something that's wrong. No, not Streisand effect. That's something else. Well, it's negative source bias. You say something is wrong, and even if it's wrong, but it gets repeated, people will believe the wrong thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're like, "Oh, I heard da da da." You know, but it's like, "Oh, did you check the fact source?" No, but I heard it though.
Yeah.
Like the mothership thing.
There's another thing that we think that's real evidence, which is eyewitness.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
Then
Yeah, exactly.
But that's actually the most, not the best source of evidence.
Yeah, there's like weapon focus bias. Like if you pull out a weapon, they focus on the weapon. They don't remember you. So if you're like technically, if you're gonna rob somebody, you just pull out a weapon. If you get caught, you're just like, no weapon bias, bro. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many like loopholes that you can play around with.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna clip this one up too. Everyday Spy, Andrew Bustamante, he was saying that we don't realize that we're just cogs in the machine. Like we are. So what he said was like, it's gonna hurt to say, but like America is made up of people who pay taxes. Your job is to work to make taxes, to pay taxes, to create some GDP. And he's like, that's also my job. Like it's everyone's job. We're all just a cog in the wheel. And the only thing that we can do to change, like to show sovereignty outside of being a cog is vote. Which is what you've been saying, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, but we just don't even take the time to vote. We don't take the time to read.
Exactly.
You know?
That's the problem.
But like, right? But he was saying like, if you really look at it, all of these like global issues are chosen by people that we chose to represent us.
Yeah.
Like Putin and Trump are meeting in Alaska to talk about Ukraine. You have nothing to do with that. But you chose those two leaders, or you chose Trump. You didn't choose Putin. But you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
and then you're like, that actually makes a lot of sense. I am just a cog. My only opportunity to show power is voting. But then you can also rig the vote where it's like you have two options that are basically the exact same option. You know what I mean? Like career politicians, you're like, well, who am I going to vote for, bro?
Sure, but I don't think that's. I understand that. Yeah, that can happen. Similar leaders, right? But there's areas that you can't even vote.
True. Yeah, for real. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah, which is why Andrew Bustamante is such a proponent of. That's why they think he's still a CIA operative, because he's so pro CIA. But he's like, no, I've seen what they do. Like, they do a good job.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. With the time that we have left, just because I don't know how long it's gonna take. Actually, well, fun fact. Though, two fun facts. You know Skrillex? Do you see that thing I posted?
No.
Like where like the girls doing the cup thing. Like you make a cup, you dismantle the cup. And all right, so there's like this thing that went around the internet where like you build the cups and then do you remember that when we were kids? Like you build the cup as fast as like a cup triangle as fast as you can. Then you take it as fast as you can.
Right.
Remember that, right? Like a cup challenge. And then so this girl did it so fast. She's like, oh my God. And then like I saw that Skrillex used that sample of her going, "Oh my God," and like so many of his famous songs. And I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
dude, that's where that came from. That's so cool." Like as
Right.
a, you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's so cool sample. And then like Kendrick Lamar's thing, you know, like where he's like bing bop boom bop bam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that song. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
he took that from a comedy skit where there was like this like doing a rap battle, and then like the kid just like said those like random sound effects, and then like I was like, oh my God, it was all over the internet, and they used that as well, and it's like that is the coolest thing to show how tapped in you are. That like I love these obscure like examples. You know what I mean? Like Skrillex is a true pioneer, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was like pirate era where you can just like you could take things and you can make them creative. Like he's the epitome of creativity in my mind.
Right.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like who else came before Skrillex? Like I was reading this AP magazine. Like, do you know the origin of Skrillex?
Don't remember it now.
Oh, okay. So he was a part of this band called From First to Last. It was an emo band. And then he
Mm-hmm.
wrecked his vocals singing because like there's a lot of screamo, right? And like screamo is bad for your vocals. So he was touring, and I think he was like in Europe, and then he realized like I can't do this forever because it's gonna wreck my vocals. Like there was an issue with his vocals.
Right.
So he heard of dubstep while he was in Europe. So
Mm.
he locked himself away in an apartment with just music for like 6 months. He didn't come out until he made those new sounds. And he literally pioneered an entirely new way of we make music. People are like, oh, he's just a ripoff of this person, this person. Like, no, like he's the one who made it so popular. Like
Mm.
those like
Sure.
electronic robot sounds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like not so much now. Like now he's doing like some weird EDMs. I'm not a big fan of his new stuff, but like when he first came out, remember how like weird it was to listen
Mm-hmm.
to Skrillex? He was
Yeah.
like, "What is this robot sounds, bro?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? That was cool, man. We don't have people like that anymore. And then to use that sample of the girl doing the cups, it's like, bro, you're the epitome of like creativity. You just
Mm.
like pirate creativity. You're like, oh, that's a cool sample. You're like, you're tapped in the internet. You know, you're like, oh, that's cool. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna make a beat out of that.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's cool. Like Kendrick Lamar does that too. And it's just like we need, like I love that like hungry pirate, like DIY. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to bring that back. Like the HKO12 videos that I made from like the first tour that we did, those were very Skrillex inspired. Like I used his music. I like
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I pulled songs off of like like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud downloader and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you just like pirate that, and then you can make something really cool that like I don't know, it's like cheated. Be like, oh, it's like, but you just use free Apple software. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
so cool that people do that. You know, I feel like we don't have that anymore.
It's harder to do now because everything's being copyrighted
It's
and
already done. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, true. Copyright too. Yeah,
Like at that time it was so new with the way that we were using the internet that there
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
there weren't rules, right?
yeah. Pirate Bay.
Yeah, yeah. So then yeah, like it takes time, and eventually the law caught up to these at those times technologies to then find ways to create the copyright laws for these things, right? Or how they can use it. So now it's harder to do that. Now you can fight against somebody. Oh, they took my thing, so you can get some royalties from that. I think it was even with some recent songs that happened.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. They have to pay royalties for like samples and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, but I thought this was like really, really cool. I mean, like even technically if you really want to bring it back, like hip hop did that first. Like
Sure.
they were the ones like remixing these things, but it's just like when you think about Skrillex, it's like nobody's done that before. Those like robot screams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's so iconic. Yeah.
It's so weird because I was in that phase this week, looking for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was odd.
Those robot screams?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Skrillex type stuff?
yeah. I went on to like
Oh, that's weird.
Twitch and the music channel part of Twitch, and some people are like they just do
Make beats.
DJing stuff, make beats or whatever, and that was.
Yeah.
I heard that. I was like hearing it, so I was like going into the Apple Music to find
Dude.
some songs.
Oh, no. Really good DJs are so sick. I was at we were at a wedding yesterday. Have you heard of like Platinum Blonde?
I don't think so. No.
All right, so they're like They're like a really they were like inducted in the Canadian Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like of music.
Sure.
And the like Tara knows the person. Her husband is the son of the drummer or something. So we were at the wedding because like she's really good friends with that person, and it's so funny because like you see them and they're out like we don't know who they are. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like there's the wedding planner who was there, and she like brought her what do you call that? Like a CD, like a vinyl
Oh, okay. Yeah.
for him
Yeah.
to sign. I was like, dude, this is so unprofessional. Like you're at work, and she's like, can I have an autograph? It was just
Oh,
like, yeah, and I was like, oh, bro, like what are you doing? Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that one. I was just like, that was just a funny. Oh yeah, DJs.
I
So
guess.
they had a DJ there, and the DJ was remixing like old songs, like you know like Dancing Queen,
Mhm.
right? But like he used like beats from now, so it was like sick. It was like
Right.
a remix of like contemporary like 808 beats, like drum and bass, you know, like hip hop vibe,
Yeah. Yeah.
but sampling like Dancing Queen, and it just made you want to dance. I was like, oh, it's the best DJ ever. So we were like dancing, and I was like, this is actually sick because usually they just play the song, you know, like off a Spotify playlist. But like a really good DJ can like, because you're like, oh, I'm looking for those DJs, and they're out there, man. Like
Oh yeah.
like
Yeah.
Instagram Reels and stuff, they
Yeah.
have like crazy remixes, and you're like, you'd be the sickest DJ, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. There's something about music, like it just like always inspires. I think of all the mediums, like if you had to go like blind, deaf, taste, you know, like all the things that we like watching movies, listening to music, eating good food. You know what I mean? I think that like the hardest one for me would be sound if I went deaf. Like I love music so much. There's just something primal about it, you know? Like
Right.
would
Yeah.
that be
Yeah.
for you too, or is it mostly like you would like which sense would you do away with? Like I could never live without this one. I feel like food, I would just whatever, and I would just eat like healthy food all the time because I can taste it. And then movies, like if you hear the soundtrack, you can imagine it in your mind.
I think for me maybe it's more visual.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say movies. Yeah.
There was a movie with Riz Ahmed that was the drummer. I don't know. Maybe I showed you. I don't know. That lost his hearing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, yeah. You showed me. Yeah, yeah. Dude,
Sound
that
of
would be the
Metal.
saddest thing ever. I would be so sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. With the time we have left, this is the newest UAP thing that I heard, and I was trying to get you to watch it, but
I didn't watch it yet.
yeah, totally. So it's fine. So basically, what this is, he's saying that, and it makes total sense. This is a global AI defense network that we're interacting with. Okay. So think about that. So all the UFOs that you're seeing, like the Tic Tac, the orbs, whatever, it's a global AI defense network of someone's. Like he's supposing, like maybe it's ultra terrestrials, maybe it's like the Atlanteans, like the ancient civilizations. They created this like defense network, and it's still online, and they're still living, and you know. So the reason why he says this is like you see the TR-3B, you see the triangle stopping missiles in Israel. That's where I first saw the TR-3B video, like the patent, right? Like I was on this UFO page, and they showed like the triangle stopping missiles, and they're like, oh look, the TR-3B in full display. And I was like, TR-3B, what? And that's when I found out, like, oh, they actually have patents for this triangle, right? And then he was saying like the orbs that were all over New Jersey happened when there was like a hypersonic missile scare. So, and then like if you read UFO nukes, UFOs will take down nuclear. There's literally videos, not videos. There's literally accounts where the UFO will come in, stop the nuclear bomb, and then like fly away.
Yeah. Right.
There's also other things where like they're testing the nuke, and then or like testing the projectile of the nuke. The UFO will fly up, disable it, and then fly away. There's so many accounts of this, okay? And like he's compiled it, he has a book for it. And another thing that's related is like poltergeists. So when you think of poltergeists, like falling down books, like sounds kind of thing, like it's meant to scare you, right? Poltergeist. And
Yeah.
in this place called Skinwalker Ranch, they see a lot of paranormal activity like that, and they're like, "Oh, there must be a lot of ghosts here." He's like, "No, that's another part of the self-defense AI network, where it's like it's deterring you from being in that location. It wants you to move away from it, because there's something there. So it's like, okay, what's there? We need you to move away.
Right.
Almost like Havana syndrome too. Havana syndrome.
No,
We've never heard of this.
I don't think so.
Okay, in Havana, people were getting sick. Like they're like puking and like headaches, whatever. And they're like, "What is this?" And they found out this is totally true. Like it's like you can Google this. They have it's called a microwave emitter, and they just point it at people and shoot it, and then it like through audio waves it makes you sick. So they didn't. Gary Nolan.
Right.
Right.
No, I know
You've
the
heard it?
technology. Yeah, I know the technology you're talking about. But I didn't know about the other
The
name.
term Havana,
Yeah.
because it happened in Havana. So they're like, what is going on? And then they realize, oh, there's like a microwave emitter that's like actually affecting people. So this is real, right? So it's like it all tracks with the patterns that you see, like the figure eights, the three circle, the usually the orbs will operate in like a three pattern, and like they're usually shutting things down or observing something, right? So he's saying that when we do a certain activity, it's almost like we trip the alarm system, and then they come check it out and they leave. They're like, "Oh, do we need to stop this? Yes or no? Whatever, right?" And this is not the first. So the reason why I'm like, "Oh, this actually makes sense," is Gary Nolan, Hal Puthoff, Tom DeLonge, all the people that are really in this. They say like, "I think it's a control system," and I was like, "Oh, control, like you're trying to hurt us in a specific direction." Like, like controlling like our evolution type of thing, right? But it's
Sure.
like, no, maybe it's literally a control system. Like, don't blow yourselves up, monkeys. And then
So who's controlling, or who is the AI?
that's the question. That's the question. Who is controlling it? Because we know that UAPs are real. We see them. So much radar, Tic Tac footage, gimbal, but it's like, oh, and Skywatcher too. So the dog whistle, right? They have like psionics to call these machinery, or use a dog whistle, basically like a radio frequency, and then they come in hordes, right? And the Area 52 guy, the Chris Ramsey, the magician, he was like, if we're dealing with an intelligent species, why would you fall for the same trick twice? They would literally do these things where they put like nuclear missiles on a train, and then they drive it like to make the UFOs come. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you're dealing with a system, bro,
Yeah.
right? Because what we were thinking, like in the UFO space, is like, oh, the UFOs are coming to check you out. It's like, no, why would they waste their time? They would send their AI drones to figure that out. Doesn't that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. We
So now the
already-
question is like,
we
well,
send drones.
exactly. So it's like, so now is where it gets into a crazy conspiracy theory zone, or not conspiracy theory, but like crazy hypothesis. What he's saying is they could be ultra terrestrials, like they live underground or like in the waters, and they have these drones as one line of defense, and we could be their next line of defense. So if an alien like race comes down, we would be the ones to fight them first, because we're like aggressive, we're like built for monkeys, whereas he hypothesizes that they're probably not like aggressive, like they're probably really frail,
Okay.
and he was saying that like the dinosaurs could have been the first iteration of what we are, which is like their defense system, and then it got too hostile, so they got rid of them, and then now we're here because like war is in our nature.
Okay.
Like I'm like, I don't know if that's real. I'm just saying.
I mean,
like,
did they
he's
wait?
just like,
I understand that, but like the dinosaurs that were here a million years ago, right? And then you destroyed the dinosaurs, so it took another like
So why did it take so long?
So many thousands of years for us humans to get to this point.
That's true.
So how were you protecting yourself in between that time?
True. Fair. All right. You know what? You're right. You're right. That's fair. Or it was inhospitable, so nobody would come to this land anyways.
Yeah, but it's over. It even when you create the humans.
Then why didn't they just come in when there was like Roman Empire?
Yeah.
Like your alien ships could have taken them out. Yeah, true. All right, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so you're right. I will just disregard that. Totally makes sense. But that doesn't discount the fact that this sounds like a defense system, an AI-driven defense system.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, doesn't that, like, what else could that be?
Sure. Yeah.
We know that these things are real. We know that they can be called. So it's like, are we just dealing with an advanced AI system made for defense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. If
right?
it's to shut down, I think it makes sense to shut down nuclear silos and stuff. That makes sense as a deterrent, or
right. And then he was saying, there's a different. He was saying that there's this person who's studying the stars. Like, she's looking at like UFO anomalies in the stars, and she sees that they show up and then they disappear. And what he hypothesizes is like through like these like pictures, like she's noticed UFOs in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hypothesizing, she's like trying to figure out if they really were UFOs. But what he's saying is like, if that's true, maybe they're also protecting us from like asteroids or like other alien invasions. Like maybe it's like not just in our, because he said that like pilots, not he, pilots saw that they go from like 10,000 feet to like 0. So instantaneously. So we know that they're like protecting the sky and the water. So it's like,
right. But protecting from what? Other things?
other aliens that try and come. And he said that could also explain why, like the Fermi paradox. Why don't we see aliens?
So like, my other thing was, aren't you trying to be non-detectable? If you're trying to hide away from those aliens?
No, it's like you see our gun, like you see cameras all the time.
No. I mean, no. I'm talking about why would those aliens come? So if there was no life here, would they have come? Or
no? So like let's say there's like an alien race from wherever, and it sees Earth. It's like, oh, maybe we can extract resources, but there's a defense network protecting us, Earth, not us.
I understand that about extracting resources, but you can do that with other planets too, right? Depending on the resource that they're trying to extract.
Yeah, but it's like a deterrent. It's like, oh, don't go to that planet. They have a defense network. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like putting like the Rogers at home security surveillance.
I do understand that, but I'm just I don't know. There's like so much of it, like with so much satellites, we're like telling them that we're here.
No, for sure. But
right.
I'm saying like, yeah, totally. But it doesn't matter if they know we're here, because we have a defense system, which is these like UAPs.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Yeah, no, I understand it. I'm just like, I think they would come here because they would probably come here because they see all these satellites. They're kind of curious, who are these people, or who are these, what's happening on this planet, versus if you didn't have anything to show, it's like they're just picking random planets to collect resource, right? But now that you're kind of like showing your signal there's someone here, maybe you want to communicate with them.
Like what do you mean?
You're having the satellites, like all that stuff, right? That right on the surface of Earth's orbit. That they would they interact or try to interact with the life that's here?
The passing by aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. They would, but then the deterrent is like, don't come any closer. We have a whole defense system.
Right, but I'm saying if there was no way of knowing that there's some life on this planet, right? If there's
why don't we just hide it?
Yeah, like didn't have satellites. Wouldn't that be like? Then they wouldn't. Sure. Like the chances of finding it would be harder, right?
Isn't that a more optimal thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, we can't speculate on what they have. Like, I don't know, maybe their technology's not that good. Who knows? But what we do know is there are UAPs, and we just don't know like what they are.
Sure.
But using this like AI defense
Hmm.
system, I'm like, this one actually tracks with everything because it's like, and the reason why he thinks that it's a ultra terrestrial that's been here for a long time is you see in like biblical accounts and ancient records like the description of these things.
And so these ones were already, or were they from Earth, or are they from an outside thing and then they came to Earth?
Oh, he doesn't know. He thinks that there's an ultra terrestrial that has been here on Earth for a long time because we have it in our records of like describing them, but he just doesn't know like who they belong to.
No, I understand that. So then, so if the aliens do come and we rather join them to take out whoever these things are on Earth.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I think like this defense system could destroy us because it's shown that they can turn off our
But then you
nuclear
just said,
missiles.
yeah, but then you said we're there to also fight the aliens that do come.
No,
Because
that
they
was a
can't.
theory. No, that was a theory. Like that's not like that's I'm not. He's just trying like oh, maybe that's what we are. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So he's just
All
okay.
I'm talking about is
Okay.
like we're just talking about that there's an AI network,
Right.
and that's not a part of his theory. He's just like, well, what are we? You're just speculating. You know what I mean? It's like,
You know
well,
what?
maybe we're this.
I think that if it's an AI network and ancients existed, I think that's part of the ancients world.
Yeah, I think so. That's
Like
totally.
that I think it
Like,
was
how
an
did you
A.
build?
Exactly, and they had AI back in those days, probably maybe,
Yes, that's what I think
um,
too.
and then
No, I think they're still here. No, I like if you see how those structures are built, you're like, how the hell did you build those structures? Going back to like the
hmm
ancient, like Egyptian pyramids, the things in India. It's like,
hmm
what
yeah,
technology did you make with that?
right,
And like, I don't think that your like, let's say you got wiped out. Why would your AI defense system still be here? It's
hmm
most likely that you just went underground, and this is your AI defense system.
hmm
You know what I mean? Like you're showing us that you have these crazy technologies. Like maybe we push them underground. I don't know. Like maybe they're like, oh, these humans are getting too crazy. You know, like we can only speculate, but all we know is that this AI defense system has been here throughout time, meaning that it predates, because it's like, oh, maybe it's our technology,
hmm
right? Because like, oh, maybe it's just like Lockheed Martin's AI tech. What I think is they've downed some of these AI defense systems and reverse engineered them. That's what ARVs are, alien reproduction vehicles. Like when people are like, oh, they reverse engineered the spaceship. It's like, no, like the defense drone, you shot it down, and now you're like figuring out like that's why you have the TR3B patent. There are triangles from the defense system, but then you reverse engineered one, you create a TR3B.
hmm
You know what I mean? Because and this lines up with Stephen Greer. He's like, you have the alien stuff, and then you have our stuff, but they're almost indistinguishable now.
hmm
So it's
right,
like, wouldn't that make sense? You find like it's like during the Black Hawk Down, not Black Hawk Down, when they killed Osama bin Laden, they had to blow up their helicopters,
hmm
right? Remember that? Because like, oh, it doesn't fly anymore, so they blew it up. Why'd you blow it up? Because you don't want them to reverse engineer it.
yeah, yeah.
So how do you know that same thing didn't happen? Like we just took down one of your AI defense bots, and we're like, oh, how does it work? Oh, we figured it out. Cool.
hmm
Now we can create our own versions.
right,
I think that's what's gonna come to light. Like we have the UAP hearing on Tuesday, but I think like if that comes out where it's like that logically, that storyline actually makes sense to me. It's like the engineers come out on Tuesday and they're like, we've worked on these reverse engineered alien crafts. Okay, what are the alien crafts? And then you're like, oh, it's an AI defense network system. Okay, who owns that? You know, but it's like, yeah, but it makes sense that you would down an AI defense system, reverse engineer it, use it for your own gains,
hmm yeah,
right? You're not like tricking an alien and downing the alien. That makes no sense.
hmm
Although they do say they have alien prisoners, allegedly, but we'll wait for that to like come to surface. We do know for sure that they are reverse engineering alien crafts, which is the Immaculate Constellation.
right.
So like, or maybe we're in the Matrix. Maybe the Matrix is real, and like the underneath is just robots. Like we're an AI, we're like an experiment, and the
hmm
AI is just like managing us to make sure we don't go too crazy.
Right.
Could be that too.
Maybe.
Yeah. But one last thing, Gary Nolan, he said that, and this is kind of ominous, and I cut it up. He's like, what it seems like is we're somebody's property. And I was like, what the hell does that mean? And then, but it's like, that would actually make sense if it's a defense system and we're being like monitored by it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's monitoring us? Why are they monitoring us?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, why are they like, they're letting us live, but they're just like, don't blow yourselves up. So you're like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just enslave us? But you're like you're literally stopping nuclear bombs. Like, why?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something to think about.
So
Any thoughts on that?
To the good guys? Is that what we're trying to say?
That makes me feel better because I'm like, oh, okay, cool. We don't have to worry about an asteroid hitting Earth or like a mothership coming because we have a defense network. You know what I mean? That makes me feel better. Like, you know that you're being protected.
Right.
We just need to know where in the food chain we are. You know, it's like, are we the apex predator or are you? Cool if you are. Cool if you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But then I guess that would destroy our governments because then we'd be like, government, why do you matter? AI overlords are more important than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they don't want to bring it out because then it's like, we're actually not top of the food chain. They're like, well, screw you then, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I guess we'll know more
stuff
on Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. We'll know more Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts?
No, not really.
What do you think about that defense network? Interesting? Like, it holds some weight. You're like, oh.
No. I don't think, I don't disagree with having something that was doing a defensive thing or like stopping.
It just ticks all the boxes, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, if it was really, like, that thing really got me where it's like, why would it fall for the same trick twice? Like, yeah, why would it? Unless it's programmed.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Yeah, we'll know more next week. Till next week.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will see. Imagine if they just like cancel it. There's like on the Tuesday, like there's been stuff about like threatening people's lives who are going to testify that have been coming up. So I'm like,
did anything like that happen the last two times?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And did it still happen?
It still happened. Yeah. But like you didn't get the guests that you wanted,
right.
Allegedly.
Oh, even the last two times.
I think so. Yeah. Like there's a few people that testified to Congress people, but they didn't testify in front of everyone.
Right.
Like there's a
But that can make sense, right?
Given the topic, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll know more when it happens. All right, Tuesday, big day. All right,
yeah.
Daisy Fish.
Peace.
Bye. All right, hope you enjoyed that episode. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those fun things, and check out our sponsors, Zenro Clothing Co., Portian Bakery, and Podbean. Take it easy, Fish.
Peace.